right, guys, welcome back to the Haunted Heart Podcast. This might be an interesting episode today because our air conditioning is speaking.
She's grumbling. We've been having an argument.
Yeah, we're sitting here. We've been trying to record our intro, which is always a struggle, but the AC seems to want to come to the party today. Also, there's a child outside that also seems to want to come to the party today, so... Guest stars, people.
We're doing it. We're bringing them to you.
Shitty audio qualities today.
Today. That's the theme, actually, of today's episode.
Yeah. How's it going, folks? How's it been since the last episode? I hope it didn't scar you too
terribly
bad.
Much. Oh, nah. They're used to it by now. This is like, what, episode 56?
56.
55? 56?
56.
56. All right, cool. You would know that. You are the editor.
The editor.
Capital T, capital E.
I have a nameplate to prove that.
Girl, I didn't even get my notes up yet. Shit.
Damn.
It's going to be one of those episodes today, folks.
I feel like you say that every episode, though. Every episode's like, it's one of those episodes.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's one of those intros.
Every other.
It's one of those stories.
It's, it is what it is.
It's one of those podcasts.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Essentially.
Uh-huh. But we do have another friend to invite to the party today, and that is our new Patreon subscriber.
We have a new one?
Mm-hmm. We do.
Ooh.
I love how you say that like you don't know.
I'm trying to, it's an illusion. I'm trying to portray.
I thought maybe you didn't read the email.
No, I read the emails. Okay. I'm on Patreon. I'm on Patreon like a hawk.
All right. So you guys know the drill. We have our dressed candle here, and we have dressed it with good intentions for health, wealth, and happiness. For our new recruit into the Heathen Temple, and his name is Colton H. And Colton has joined us as one of our cannibal cult members. Your candle is lit, my darling, and it will sit right beside my mic, and I'm not going to knock it over and burn our house down.
It's sitting right in between us.
So we're sharing you.
Yeah. Oh, God. Deletes his Patreon.
Deletes Patreon. Deletes Facebook. Moves to a new home address. Changes phone number. It's fine.
Hey, I don't blame him.
It's okay. We're friendly freaks.
Yes.
So thank you so much for your contribution, Colton, and thank you to everybody who contributes to the Patreon. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow the podcast. It helps us do a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes into putting this together for you every single week. For y'all.
Yes. It's all for you.
It's all for you.
No,
you remember that song?
You went pop culture with it. I was trying to go Damien. It's all for you, Damien. But
I'm sorry.
I can see.
I was going Janet
which one
Jackson.
Which one of us is the horror?
Okay.
Aficionado.
All right.
Here.
All right.
But that's fine.
It's fine. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Janet Jackson, that fucking song, "All for You," that was my shit. I was like 14. It's all for you. It was amazing. I had like a whole dance routine. Sometimes I still listen to it on those particularly difficult mornings when I'm considering just driving in a car west till I run out of gas.
That's terrifying.
It is.
That is legitimately terrifying.
I think that's my song that like, that trope of like the peppy like pop song while somebody's committing like a gruesome murder. Like I think that's mine. Like that one is 100% the one that would be playing. Like that's my... lose my shit.
Glad to know.
Song. So if y'all ever hear that blasting out loud, I'm either having a rough day and trying to pick it up, or I'm having a rough day.
And trying to pick up the body.
Yeah.
And
true.
take it somewhere.
True.
I don't know. I've always said mine was Mr. Brightside.
Oh, by the Killers?
Yeah.
I love the Killers.
I've always said that one was mine.
Yeah.
But who knows? I actually probably would have a whole soundtrack. That would be a part of it.
Like an album.
Yeah, an album.
I'm into it. So remember, I think it was one episode or 2 episodes ago, we said that we were going to like read reviews and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to actually do that. So I have a review And we're just pulling, this one comes from iTunes, but we actually pull from iTunes and Stitcher and all the different, like Google Play, all the different podcast apps that you can listen to or Sharon.
Podbean.
Podbean is also a good one.
Podbean.
So this is from Catanagil? Catan Nagel? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. CATANNEGIL. Y'all need to use some like pronounceable name. No, I'm kidding. So they said it's 5 stars, and they said I couldn't love them more. Katie and Kenny never failed to put a smile on my face. Their ability to respectfully report. I don't know about that girl. To respectfully report on some very dark and occasionally sensitive topics while also managing to make me smile and laugh is a testament to their talent as podcasters and their character as people. They clearly love and care for each other and their listeners and are incredible at making us feel like we are truly their friends and part of the hashtag Spooky Squad.
So, first of all, I feel like that's a lot of credit.
I know. Boo-boo. Thank you.
Respect. I saw lots of words in there that I
such as respect, talent,
talent. Words that I wouldn't typically associate with this podcast. Mm-hmm. Trash talent, maybe
for sure.
Different just category. Talent. That's completely different.
I don't know. That's a lot of credit.
We've got to separate that. There's a difference. There's a difference in talent and trash talent. And for those of you who don't know, or who may be new, trash talent is that like gritty, like I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just
force it in, but with consent. Into your ear holes with consent.
Yes,
for you,
always.
That's trash talent.
Always. Not necessarily professionally trained in whatever the category is. But
not necessarily professionally trained in anything.
But you do it anyway.
Right. You just do it anyway. That's our message.
Yeah. And just be you.
To all the downtrodden, do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Truly, literally. If you're feeling rough, babe, just do it anyway.
Just do it anyway, yeah.
That's why I'm still here, actually. My fucking motto. Do it anyway.
Yeah, so that's what trash talent is. But thank you so much for that review.
Yes.
For those
what
5
if it's
stars.
Catan E. Gill?
I think you just need
What if it's a middle initial?
I think you need to let it go.
Thank you to whoever you are. Mystery person. We'll never know.
We'll never know. Unless we hack
you
it
email us.
You email us, or I was going to segue into our topic and say unless someone hacks it somehow.
Okay. I'm really bad at picking up on that.
Again, trash.
Talent.
Exactly.
Emphasis on the trash part.
Emphasis. Yeah, so this week's subject is a little, like, unnerving for me. Do you remember, like, there's very few topics that, like... Get me. Yours was the Mandela effect.
Yes. We can't talk about it.
That both kind of got us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a little more so you than me, probably.
I don't
Still
know.
A little bit.
You did have that freak out in the Burger King drive-thru.
I did have a freak out in Burger King drive-thru.
Because you thought the Nightmare Burger never existed.
Anyway.
That man was concerned at you. So if we didn't tell you this story, right after we recorded that episode, Kenny went for some late night BK. I went home and he went to order the Nightmare Burger, which had been, was it Nightmare Burger?
No.
Some kind of bacon thing.
No, it was not bacon. I don't get bacon on my burgers.
Okay.
It was some sort of...
What do you people eat?
You people.
You pork eaters.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't any bacon. It was a it was a spicy jalapeno Whopper.
Okay, that was a really crucial detail. So
it is because I missed it.
He went to order that, and they were like, "We don't have that." And it was right after we had done the Mandela Effect episode, which if you haven't listened to it, definitely go listen to it. But it's about how like people have false memories of like realities that didn't exist, and why is that, and blah blah blah. So when the guy at BK was like, we don't have that, Kenny was like triggered and concerned that he had been a victim of the Mandela effect. But then the man very nicely explained to him when he saw his distress, his inordinate, I would say, level of distress. He explained to him that they used to have it, but they took it off their menu.
Yeah.
And so everything was fine. So
it wasn't fine.
I mean,
it was
sad, but it wasn't like I've dropped into a different reality. Like, where are my family and friends? Like, because I think that's the level you were at. So
yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I didn't have any public freakouts.
Okay. Fair enough.
I just imagine you in your car gripping the wheel, like.
That's pretty accurate. That's fair. That is fair. But I would have to say the only other way that really kind of made me a little weird was the objectophilia episode.
Oh, that one made you weird.
That one was like, that one unnerved me a lot. But this is another subject that, like, I don't.
It gets you.
It gets me.
It gets you.
Yeah, I think it should. I think it's valid.
I mean,
more so than the other ones.
So I will say that I
they don't know what this is about, but
I'm working on it. Actually, I'm working on it right now. I will say that I put a Band-Aid over my computer, like laptop webcam. I became one of those people, and I've always ridiculed those people. But after researching the dark web for 2 hours, like the first 2 hours, I was like, these motherfuckers watching me.
Uh-huh.
Let me cover this up.
Uh-huh.
And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the fucking dark web.
Yeah.
We're talking about the people who watch you. And I've always been one of those people. I make fun of people who cover up their cameras because I'm just like, if you watching me, baby, like, here's the show. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It got weird. Like, I read about it for like, I think I actually ended up covering up 30 minutes in, not 2 hours in. It was a concern.
Yeah. So that's always been something that has weirded me out. That's why, like, whenever I go to your mom's house, and because for those who don't know, which is all of you probably,
for those who have never been to my mom's house,
she doesn't have blinds or curtains.
Should we tell people that on a podcast? They really did like Scarlett.
They did like Scarlett.
I'm worried.
But anyway,
look out.
It's always a little weird for me because I need privacy.
Yeah.
And that is something that,
I just wasn't raised in that. And that's probably why I'm like an exhibitionist now. Like, I just don't give a fuck. Like, my mother's motto is like, if you don't like what you see when you look at me, then don't fucking look my way. And I appreciate the candid, like that whole philosophy is very much me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, why put fucking blinds on your window? It blocks the view. If you're not trying to look over here, but then also, that's how people get obsessed with you and then they murder you. So true. Personal safety.
Very true. But it's interesting that we're talking about privacy in that way because that's what a lot of people use the dark web for. For
more privacy.
For more privacy.
I do feel like we have to say that even though we're probably going to get into some weird cases, we're going to talk about the worst of the dark web because we're fucking pessimists, as my therapist says.
Does it say it like that? You're a fucking pessimist. I am her therapist. That's what she means by that. We're actually on a therapy session right now.
So we're going to focus on some of the darker points of the dark web, but I do have to say, just as a disclaimer up top, not everybody on the dark web is a rapist. Not everybody on the dark web is like into child porn. Not everybody on the dark web is doing like bullshit. Some people just want privacy. I'm sure that there are listeners to this show that use the dark web, like just because they don't want to be tracked by Google and Bing and all that other shit that watches me every moment of the day.
Right.
The fact that my phone, when I leave your apartment, tells me how many minutes it's going to take me to get to my home, even when I didn't ask it to do that.
Yeah.
Like on the lock screen.
Yeah.
Is frightening.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to turn that feature off. If you do, go ahead and email me at thehauntedheartpodcast@gmail.com because it's fucking scary, girl. I left my house the other day and it was like, it'll take you 27 minutes to get to Starbucks. And I was like, bitch, you watching me?
So, yeah, that's the creepy thing. Where it's like, if you're like, I could really use some Papa John's right now. And then you scroll through Facebook and there's like a Papa John's ad. Mm-hmm. Like, what
it's
the
not good.
fuck?
Get your tinfoil hat, Betty, because it's happening now.
We live
our fucking devices.
We live in an age where privacy is like something that is becoming more scarce.
Right. Even if you don't notice it. Right. So there are people who are using the dark web to get more privacy, to get to not have them all of their activity online be tracked all the time. And it's not necessarily because they're doing horrible things.
Well,
it's just because they want some fucking peace and quiet.
Well, that too, and it's also it's also great for people who are in other countries that may have extreme censorship, and it allows for them to get to have a voice. It also allows for people to track the people who are doing bad things and call them out, because you do have those people who use the dark web for that. And I do want to clarify, there's a difference between dark web and deep web.
Yes, I was going to get into that. Yep.
So the deep web often gets confused with the dark web. Not the case. Deep web is like the stuff that, if I log into my bank online and it takes me to my personal banking page, that's the deep web.
Right. It's the stuff that's not indexed by search engines. So the stuff that, if you Google, it's not going to pull up that page. It's the stuff that is a little bit more encrypted, a little bit more secure.
Yeah, which we all use every day online.
Right.
Whether it's your email, or like I said, if you log into your banking account, whatever, all of that stuff.
If you're a college student and you do research for research papers, or if you're a podcaster and you do research for podcasts, it's likely that you have been on pages, academic pages that are not indexed by search engines. Mm-hmm. So deep web is pretty common. I mean, it just exists. You probably get on the deep web.
I feel like
more often than you think.
Yeah. So I feel like the deep web. So you've got the internet as a room, right, or a house, and you go into the living room, and that's your main place where everyone congregates, right? So you've got your couch, you've got your TV, you got your YouTube, all of that, whatever. That's where people congregate, and then you kind of have the bathroom, which is your private deep web place.
All right. Where are we going next?
Most people can't go.
Right.
But then the dark web is that basement. It's going down into the basement of the house.
So there's a bathroom in the basement, and then behind the bathroom is where you store the bodies.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So you go down, and then that's your deep web in that dark, or your dark web in that.
Oh, your sex dungeon.
Space. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
So that's how I mentally envision it.
Okay, so research tells us that the dark web is a small section of the deep web that's used specifically for illegal purposes, such as private communications, buying drugs, illegal pornography, and human trafficking. The dark web has all kinds of shit that you can buy. Dark web grocery store carries weapons, conspiracy theories, message boards for weird sexual fantasies, and I do mean weird sexual fantasies.
Yep.
Not any kind of stuff that not any kind of stuff that we would even be talking about. You know what I mean? There's one particular, if you wanna research it, I wouldn't. But there's one weird fetish that involves swallowing children whole, a snake. That's a thing.
Wow.
It's real weird. The government also uses the dark web to find people who are willing to volunteer for government experiments, allegedly. There was one Reddit user who told a story about how he stumbled across a job posting that was posted by an RN, a registered nurse, with combat experience who was based out of D.C., actually. He's local.
A local queen.
And that might become important because he offered $255,000 for 6 months of being out of communication aboard a ship. Huh. I read that story, girl, and I was like, what kind of experiments are we talking?
Yeah, probably none that you want to be a part of.
What are we taking? Russian sleep experiment.
No.
God.
No.
That creepypasta still fucking triggers me. Don't read it. Shit. No, I'm gone. There's also Craigslist for hackers.
Yeah.
So you can get any kind of thing hacked that you want. Hitmen. And human experimentation. Not the government kind, but just individuals. Entrepreneurs. There are pictures and videos, allegedly. All of this stuff is allegedly.
Yeah.
But usually of what it is assumed to be homeless people. Supposedly there's one particular guy, and this is again another story from Reddit, who would cut off people's arms and legs, and he would close off all their orifices and sell them as sex dolls. And he would even like put hooks in their backs so that they could be hung up when not, quote, in use.
Ugh.
Yeah. But that seems like a shitty 13-year-old creepypasta. Because, like, how you unclose something's, like, you're going to take a living creature, cut off their arms and legs. I guess you could cauterize wounds. But then, like, once you close orifices, like, they're going to die.
Well, I don't understand. Like, if you're closing... Okay. Never mind.
Baby, rubber. Just easier to sanitize. You can throw it in the washer.
Oh, just Pornhub like everybody else. Like, literally, it's not that deep. Anyway, so yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the stuff you said, I'm glad you said allegedly.
Allegedly. Because a lot of it sounds like shitty creepypasta.
And a lot of it is.
Yeah.
A lot of it really is. So a lot of the things that you hear about the dark web, like... one of the most infamous things are the red rooms.
Yeah.
Which are if you don't know, they are like places where you can go to watch online, where you can go to watch people be murdered. Mm-hmm. Lots of stories, lots of urban legends, if you will, exist about red rooms in the dark web or on the dark web. But so far, none have been found or tracked. Mm-hmm. There was a hitman website that seemed legit, and people actually went to, I think it was called Besa Mafia. Mm-hmm. And it was very, very legitimate looking. Mm-hmm. And people
what you mean, like it wasn't like neon text on a black background?
No,
like,
it was
like the alien websites that we researched.
Well, no, it was described as being very legit. Like it was like a solid website, something along the lines of like
Bet
used
it's
to be popular
Squarespace website.
True. Stupid ass. Something along. No, they equated it to something along the lines of Silk Road that existed on the dark web, which was a big like drug thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
But that was real.
But that was real.
Silk Road, the drug trade, that was real.
Yeah. And there were people that were actually giving, the admin of this website, I guess they use Bitcoin as,
yes,
transactional.
Bitcoin on all, pretty much all of the dark websites, certainly all the illegal ones, use cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin because they are encrypted and harder to track.
Yeah. So there were people that were giving this website Bitcoin in exchange to have certain people killed, be it their spouse or someone out of revenge, whatever. But what hackers found when they went in, like government hackers found, went in, was that this person was really just scamming these people.
Amazing.
For their money.
Right.
And that's what a lot of the websites who claim to do stuff like this are. They're just scamming people out of money.
Right.
But that doesn't negate the fact that there are people who are that gave money for an act to be. How awkward is that? Like, okay, so now we've got
those people got put on a list, like 100%. I hope that we just like kept like a Mead notepad of like those names because we need to keep an eye out.
Oh, I've got my.
If there's ever a murder investigation.
I hope that FBI agent had an edit book.
For sure, for sure. Like we need to watch Susie.
So a lot of that is what happens. However, drugs, pedophilia, and other violent things do exist on the dark web,
right?
Unfortunately, lots of like gore sites on there, like just some disgusting shit does exist on the dark web. So we're not saying that it doesn't, but a lot of like hitman sites, a lot of the red room stuff, a lot of that very elaborate, super like creepypasta style stuff is fake,
right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Fred.
Not saying it won't ever exist.
The guy who makes the human sex dolls just like looks up from his bench and is like,
No, even more terrifyingly enough to envision, he's sitting on his couch with a sex doll with his earbuds in, listening to our show.
To the on and our podcast. Hey, hit
If
up
you
that
are,
Patreon. No,
send us an email. No, don't.
Don't email me. Don't
Please.
fucking email me, babe. Don't.
Please don't break that fourth wall.
Please don't. We don't want to hear from you.
Don't break the fourth wall. You stay over there.
Specifically you. So in order to access the dark web, you have to have a special browser, which is called a Tor browser.
Google, Chrome. No?
No, definitely not.
Oh.
Definitely not. But
Internet
you can get on
Explorer?
the deep web with that. Oh, Internet Explorer, God bless. It's better than that fucking Microsoft Edge bullshit
Firefox.
browser.
No?
Firefox. The linchpin in the Casey Anthony case. Firefox. Infamous.
I don't get that reference, but okay.
We'll cover it. Basically, when they were investigating the case, the cops, Firefox had just launched because it was like early 2000s, and it was in beta, and the Anthony family had it installed on their computers. They were beta testing it, and so Casey Anthony, being young, was using Firefox. When the police that's not the right word, requisitioned the computers and all the browsing data to examine it, they only looked at Internet Explorer because they were old and they didn't know Firefox existed.
Oh, okay.
Hackers later allegedly hacked into her Firefox and found all the how to kill your daughter shit.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, horrible. So anyway, the Tor browser, those cops would definitely not know any fucking thing about. Although hopefully cops now do.
Yeah.
Because that's what you use to access the dark web. However, even downloading the Tor browser itself is said to be somewhat risky because some people have reported receiving phone calls from unknown numbers after installing and browsing using the Tor browser. And when they pick up, nobody's on the line.
Oh.
So use at your own discretion. So that's just kind of, there are some really fun YouTube videos that are definitely all fake. All that creepypasta stuff that we were talking about. I mean, they are fun. It's the people talking voices like this, and they talk to you about secrets of the dark web. And that's how you know it's fake.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of fun YouTube videos where you can hear little stories that are just kind of spooky. But I really wanted to dig into a case that is confirmed, that we know is real. This really happened. And all this shit actually went down, and it did involve the dark web. So I thought we would dig into something that we know is solid ground.
Okay.
Because, we appreciate above all on this show facts. Get a good one. Get a good laugh in, because we are digging into the case.
Get your yucks in.
Get your yucks in now, folks, because we're digging into the case of Peter Gerald Scully.
Yuck.
And Daisy's destruction.
Oh, no. God damn it. You brought this one to the table after last week.
I did.
What the fuck are you doing?
I did. So, Peter Gerald Scully was born January 13th, 1963. He was Australian. But apparently, by all reports, he led a normal life in Australia until 2011, when he fled from Melbourne to the island of Mindanao in the Philippines, where he built a lucrative international pedophile ring and offered pay-per-view video streams of children being tortured and sexually abused on the web. His production company was called No Limits Fun, and the victims were procured by Scully with promises to impoverish children. So
I'm sorry. That just literally that just sent a reaction to my stomach.
No Limits Fun.
Yeah, that just
worst.
set I just felt like a fucking jab to my fucking gut. It's to how fucking disgusting and awful and sick and ugh.
I mean, buckle up, because it gets worse.
God damn it. I know.
It's just horrible. It's just, no, because when I was researching the case, the first time I stumbled across the name of the production company, it did the same thing to me, because it's just so self-aware and so, they are so selfish that like people's lives are just like limits. Like No Limits Fun is like sounds like some bullshit like BDSM club where everybody goes and has a good time and it's great and whatever. But like this shit is like just so, you're so selfish to the point that other people's lives are just irrelevant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just a limit to be broken in the name of fun.
Oh.
Horrible.
Continue.
So he founds this production company in the Philippines, and he gets victims by promising their parents, child victims, by promising their parents that he's taking the child to educate the child and to find, work for the child. And these parents, the people that he targeted, I'm not trying to like make a general statement about the Philippines. There are plenty of people in the Philippines who are doing just fine. It's not like I feel like a lot of people who have covered, because I think I'm being weird right now, I feel like a lot of people who have covered this case paint a picture of the Philippines as just like total squalor. And it's not that way. Like that's a bullshit, like white American way to see everything.
Right.
There are plenty of people in the Philippines who are doing just fine, but the people that this guy targeted were the more impoverished folks, were poor parents who have all these kids who are like, what the fuck do I do with all these kids? Like, I can't afford to like educate all of them. I can't even afford to feed all of them.
Yeah.
And so he sought those people out specifically and promised like, hey, like I'll take this kid off your plate. I'll educate the kid. I'll raise the kid well. And then, he or she can go off and get a great job and it'll be fine. And that worked, unfortunately, because people like this know that people who are living in poverty have very few choices available, unfortunately. And also, he had two Filipino girlfriends, Carmianne Alvarez and Liesl Margallo, who would also help him find children. So these women would go out and they would like find kids, and we're, as a culture, we're kind of trained to trust women. It's that whole like motherly thing. And it's not that great. There are tons of cases where kids who are abducted, or even, there's one particular case in Britain that's very famous of people getting into cars because like, oh, there was a woman there. So like, I knew it was safe.
Yep.
Like, whereas if a man approached you in a car, you'd never think about getting in. If there's a woman there, then okay, it's fine. Like clearly they're a couple. It's okay.
Yeah. Cause like you said, it's that maternal, like, okay, she's a woman. She's maternal. Obviously she would never do anything to hurt a child.
Right. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case.
Did we see Macbeth? I'm laying.
Yeah. So I do have to say that both Carmianne and Liesl were prostituted as children. Carmianne in particular was actually groomed by Scully himself. So, they're super young. I think they were only like late teens when they met him and they were doing this for him. So they were young, also impressionable. Doesn't excuse their crimes, but especially Carmianne, I watched some interview footage with her, and I felt so bad because I think he got her when she was like 9 or maybe 12. And he groomed her from that age forward. And so for her, there's always an option to not do something. I'm not trying to absolve her of all blame, but like, if that's all you've ever known, it's very hard to get out of that mentality, because who's going to take care of you? Who's going to feed you? How are you going to live?
Right. Well, if
you have nothing else.
Yeah, there's an age where you are definitely impressionable. And, I think 9 years old, like, if you were taken, I'm pretty sure it was probably the same setup as, what these other girls, little kids have went through. And, like, she was just, that's all she knew. Right. So, no, it doesn't excuse it, but, like, it's kind of like that weird gray area, like yes, obviously, that this is wrong.
Right. Clearly,
You have
this is wrong.
you have an idea of what is right and what is wrong. But you still can't help but to, kind of pity her in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a difficult pity because both Carmian and Lizelle Margello appear on camera abusing children in his videos. Yeah. But it's an important piece of the story. So these children that he would abduct, they were kept in dog collars. They were abused and forced to perform sex acts on each other and also on Peter Scully. And they were made to dig their own graves. And ultimately, most of the time, they were murdered. One particular instance involved the kidnapping of 2 cousins, aged 9 and 12. And Carmian actually coaxed those girls back to Scully's home with the promise of food. When they got there, Scully immediately enchained them and forced them to perform sex acts on each other while he photographed it and filmed it for his production company. With Carmian's assistance, he also sexually abused both of the girls. They were kept chained up, and after an escape attempt, they were made to dig what they were told would be their own graves. After 5 days of abuse, Carmian actually took pity on the girls and released them and let them escape while Scully wasn't at the home. Mm-hmm. So the cousins immediately went to the police. A+ to them.
Right.
And Carmian was arrested, and then Scully went on the run again. So he fled Melbourne. The reason that he had fled Melbourne, by the way, was like check fraud or something like fucking like it was something smarmy, but like not anything to the level of like abusing children. So I have a feeling that motherfucker was into some shit before he ever left Australia.
More than likely, probably was afraid that something that would lead into more investigations into him. So that's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah. No, I definitely think it. And he tries to sell the story. There's not that much information about what he was up to in Australia beforehand. But, like, he, in the interviews that I watched, definitely tries to sell the story of, like, oh, like, I was fine in Australia and then I got here and then just, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know how I got into child porn. Like, I don't know how.
What, like, you just fucking stumbled upon it?
Literally. Like, that's how he sells the stories. Like, I have to, like, make money and I just, like. I don't know what happened. Like, what?
I need to make fucking money too, damn it. But, like, literally everybody else in the world has to make fucking money in order to survive.
How about go get a fucking job, babe? Like, how about go till a fucking field job, or whatever you have to do?
Open up a fucking bodega. Like, literally anything else.
Literally anything else.
Consensually do things with other people.
You mean be a sex worker?
Be a sex worker.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Literally anything else.
No sympathy.
I'm sorry. Like, what? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, one of the biggest money makers, one of the biggest income generators for Peter Scully during this period of time, was a video called Daisy's Destruction. And Daisy's Destruction, you may have heard about it on some, there's a lot of information about it on Reddit. It's kind of one of those like internet legends. Mm-hmm. That seems like it would be a creepypasta, but this one's actually real and confirmed. This video was sold to clients for up to $10,000. And initially, like I said, people considered it to be an urban legend. People considered it to be a creepypasta because it was, like, the details of it were so bad.
Right.
The 3 main victims were Lisa, age 12, Cindy, age 11, and Daisy, 18 months old.
Yep.
The introduction...
That physical reaction in my stomach.
Yeah. The introduction to the film invites the viewer to watch Daisy's, quote, mental ruin as she, quote, learns how to please her mistress, end quote. There are details about what happens in the video. We're not going into that here. You guys know that's not our vibe. You can find them if you want to read about them. Well, I would suggest not.
Typically, it is our vibe, but given this...
No, not this. This is not... I mean, we talk about these stories because we think they're important, but... we're not the kind of podcast that's just going to read to you horrible details about a child being abused, because that crosses a line.
Yep.
For us, and the video is definitely part of that. Also, I'm not fucking trying to go to jail for some damn charges on some bullshit. I'm sure that I'm on an FBI list. Both of us are, and I'm not trying to go the fuck down.
Me.
Like, I'm watching you, internet. Even Pornhub, when it's like, hot teen. Nope. You're not getting me. Not today. No. Fully legally of age and age appropriate to the browser.
If they're looking at our browser history after this week's episode, they've got you looking up Daisy's destruction, and then they've got me looking up
How to kill
based on
people.
Mafia hitman kill this.
Right. God.
It's okay. The FBI agents already know it's us.
Fine.
They're
We
like,
have an
oh,
agreement.
they're like, it's them.
It's fine. We're building a long line of credibility, you see. So we won't be suspected.
Okay.
So we won't be suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're not going through the details of the video. However, Lisa, from the video, she was the 12-year-old, was found to be alive, as was Daisy, the 18-month-old. They were both found alive, though their treatment had been so vicious that both of them had lasting physical injuries. However, 11-year-old Cindy had been murdered. Allegedly, before she was strangled to death with a rope, Cindy was subjected to bouts of rape and torture and was made to dig her own grave. And according to according to Liesl Margallo, she was the other girlfriend. She's the one who was around when Daisy's destruction was made. According to her, Scully videotaped himself killing Cindy by strangling her. And then he buried her in that shallow grave, which was below the house that she had allegedly been forced to dig. Yeah. So this motherfucker was finally arrested in Malay City on February 20th, 2015. So he got arrested. All the shit came out. All the details came out. Police knew about the video. They had confessions from Liesl Margallo and Carmi Ann. Carmi Ann went to fucking prison. I'm not sure what happened with Margallo. I researched. I think she went to prison for some period of time. But like the interview footage that I watched, she actually was out and walking around and like dressed in regular street clothes and was like talking to the interviewer about what it had been like to like live with Peter Scully and like do these things. So it's unclear what happened with her. I know Carmi Ann went to prison for life. Peter Scully, however, he was arrested in February, and then in October of that same year of 2015, a fire severely damaged the evidence room that contained all of his computer logs, all of his videos, all of the like browsing data. And so key evidence in his case was completely obliterated by this fire.
Wow.
Yeah. That was mysterious. So some people believe that Scully may have bribed a police officer to start that fire in the evidence room.
For sure.
To like make his case weaker, because corruption among police in the Philippines is pretty high. So that's like not uncommon. I mean, I realize the case like this, the circumstances are very suspicious, but like we know for a fact that corruption is really high among police there. So it's,
I mean,
almost a
what
given.
the fuck else could it be?
Right.
Like
I mean,
a rant. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm looking at you,
Scully.
A
random like cigarette,
Oh.
like ember from a cigarette butt just floats in the window and
like
lands
it would in a movie or something.
in like a pile of kindling.
I'm like,
that's just been left in a suspicious like campfire incident case that they had to keep a pile of kindling.
and it just goes all up in flames. No,
damn it.
I don't
No
believe
way.
that. That motherfucker shoved somebody like $10,000 via PayPal.
Yeah.
And had that shit taken care of.
Yeah. So that slowed down the case and obviously made it a little bit weaker. But in June of 2018, Scully was found guilty of 1 count of human trafficking and 5 counts of rape, and he was sentenced to life in prison. So he never went down for murder, but like, hopefully he will stay his ass in prison.
So,
I don't want to hear no good behavior shit out of you. Philippines.
So, somehow I'm gonna say that a Filipino prison is probably doesn't have good behavior.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So.
But like, I'm just gonna hope that it doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that some of that footage was probably what was supposedly lost in the fire, like the murder and all of that stuff that he, allegedly filmed himself doing.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why, like, it wasn't probably like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 life sentences.
Yeah. Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a really sad case. It's really tough because there are levels to it. Obviously, he's a piece of fucking shit. But
you're like, he's like the fucking insects that feed on shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, what the fuck?
Garbage. Complete garbage. And he's such a sociopath too, because like in the interviews with him, he's just like, yep. He was writing some stupid fucking journal. Like, I love how serial killers and like these people do this. Like, we give a fuck. I mean, obviously we do because we cover their stories, but like, they're like, he's like, I'm writing a journal. I'm writing a manifesto. It'll be in the journal. I can't do an Australian accent, but like the interviewer journal? Is just like, why did you hurt kids? Like, why did you do this to people? Like, why did you do this to the most vulnerable of the population? He's like, in the journal. Like he was like, I don't want to answer these questions anymore. It's going to be in the journal. And he'd be like, in the journal. And then he was like, you can keep asking questions, but I'm just going to tell you that it's in the journal. And then she keeps asking him, like, she was going in. I respect her because she was an Australian lady too. And she was not having any of it. So she was going in and asking like, why are you such a piece of shit, basically? And he was like, in the journal. And I was like, you fucker.
So,
But going back to my point about levels, like, he's garbage and we can hate him fully, but like the girlfriends, especially Carmi Ann, really, that's the thing that I just keep thinking about is like, she is both a victim and a perp. Yeah. And that's so sad that like, well, she was abused and right. It's a cycle. And, and it's just really unfortunate that she didn't get help. And that it continued to where it did. I think she absolutely deserves to be in prison, but at the same time, I feel bad for her.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's like you said, it's the cycle of the abuser. I mean, you see it with, this. You see it with, alcoholism and like various things, drugs, whatever. But see, this is the thing. This is why I could not be one of those people who interview.
Yeah.
Like,
no, we asked. People. Neither fucking one of us could do that.
I couldn't be that. I couldn't be that person.
So tell me, when did you realize you were a colossal fuck up? Tell me why you're a waste of fucking space on this planet.
I mentioned this.
How does it feel to be a giant turd? Like,
seriously though. No, that's like, I could not have that job because they would probably arrest me.
For throwing bows. You can catch these fiery hands.
You can catch these fiery hands, you fucking sick piece of shit.
100%. We would either die or
I got 2 questions for you.
I got 2 questions for you.
Bow. Yeah. No, because I just like the way I am, like I would want to, maybe not. I'm not a physical fighter. I would fight more emotionally. Not physical unless I need to be, but. No, like I could just see myself being there and then just like, okay, you're not going to answer any questions. Like, now let me get into the real shit. Like, let me sit down with you. Let me light this candle.
We're going to sage this place. Sorry if it gets you a little choked up, you fucking evil piece of shit.
Like, let me just light this candle right here and then just, just really get into your fucking sick and twisted mind and just torture the fuck out of you. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah.
People who do these heinous crimes, like I just feel like not necessarily, you get a lot of people who are like, oh, just kill them, like death sentence, whatever. And I'm like, no, that's too good.
Let him suffer.
That is too good. I would prefer, like in certain cases like this that are very extreme. No, I want you to suffer really bad.
I mean, that's kind of how I am. I'm not necessarily for the death penalty because I literally want you to suffer more.
Exactly.
It's not like, bleeding heart
No.
liberal over here. No, I
completely agree.
I want you to suffer more.
Exactly.
I want to cruel and unusual.
I would be so happy if my taxes went to like your suffering.
Oh no.
I would. Yes. Talk about a red room. You could.
Yeah.
You could,
Legal red room.
wow.
Horrible. Actually, that'd be a really good movie idea.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had said like that's just I'd seen that you see that case sometimes floating around Facebook. Actually,
yeah.
Like how sometimes you'll get the random, or maybe it's just me because Facebook is watching me. You get those random
Child murder
creepy.
sites?
No, like you get the random creepy pasta stories will pop up, or like the urban legend urban legend articles or whatever that'll pop up on Facebook. And I think when I first heard about this case, it was through one of those it has like a thumbnail of something that is completely unrelated to the incident, but then has like in the creepy letters, it's like this, and this happened.
Yeah. That just goes to show you that like, although we kind of up top poo-pooed a lot of the cases that you hear about most frequently when you start looking into the dark web, it doesn't necessarily mean that some of that shit's not legit, or at least legit adjacent, because
or has some truth.
Right, that there is some truth to it, because a lot of people thought Daisy's Destruction was a creepypasta or an urban legend or whatever. Yeah. And it turned out this motherfucker was real. So, yeah. Yep. So everybody go take a shower now.
No, I feel like I need to vomit. I feel like I need to. I had, 3/4 of a Pop-Tart before you came over.
Oh, what flavor?
The brown sugar cinnamon. It's my favorite. I like the brown sugar cinnamon.
The cherry's my favorite. Only because it's really hard to find. I got it very seldom.
Okay.
So I had to. And then after that, the s'mores. The s'mores are good.
No, fucking s'mores is
I know,
disgusting.
you don't like the graham cracker crust.
Fucking s'mores, disgusting.
It's thick, but you have to like it thick.
I like mine with a little sugar.
Yeah, sweet.
I like mine sweet. Anyway, and I just feel like I actually have to vomit that up now. Or that's the only thing in my stomach. But yeah, ugh. Okay. So I'm gonna try to bring this back a little bit.
lighten it up.
I'm gonna try to bring it back a little bit. So just speaking of those random things that you read on Facebook, because everything that we put into the world now gets put into an algorithm. And that's how we are defined now, by algorithms. So I'm going to bring it to some possibly not true, could be true. We don't really know, but it's fun and lighthearted. Reddit stories.
Yay, Reddit!
Yay! So
if anybody wants to make us a Reddit, that'd be cool as fuck. I don't really know how it works.
I don't know how it works either. I really don't get Reddit.
Me either.
I don't understand.
I like to browse and read things, but I definitely creep real hard, and I don't post anything. I tried to make an account once and post something, but they were like, you don't have enough points. And I was like, but what? Okay. So that was the only time I tried. They were like, you're not cool enough. And I was like, well, fucking fine, Reddit. I'll take my trash self back over to fucking Facebook.
Yeah, I don't really... I don't really understand Reddit either, especially the format gets really confusing to me because there's so many I guess what you call subreddits. Is each post called a Reddit?
No, I think Reddit is the site, and then the subreddits are the posts that are made, and then the comments are
no, you've got the Reddit, which is the post,
the category.
Yeah. And
then the subreddit, yeah. So you
and
would
then
have
you've got the comments,
yeah.
But they just build on top of each other.
Yeah, there's a lot,
and it just visually it's too much for me.
Too cluttered. Need some feng shui.
I mean, for real, Reddit is too cluttered for me.
I feel that way about Twitter.
It's very chaotic.
I never know what I'm responding to.
Same.
Sometimes I like our tweets. And I don't mean
Sometimes-
to. I'm not trying to be.
I saw
like,
that the other day. I
I'm
think I looked at it. I saw like it was liked by us. And I'm like, did Katie
not
really
trying to
this bullshit?
like my own shit. I just don't understand how to use Twitter.
Yeah.
Because
Or, like,
I
you
grew
get the
up in an
tweets.
impoverished section of the nation.
Or you have like on Twitter, you've got like tweets, and then you've got like tweets and replies.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, why isn't this just one thing? It just seems
don't know.
extra to me. I don't know.
yeah,
This isn't the
I agree.
Twitter section.
This is our social media corner.
Wow. Anyway, here I'm gonna go through just a few Reddit stories to fill up time.
See if we can get some fucking points for this, Reddit
Yeah.
assholes.
So this first one is from the Redditor Bacon Boy Loiter. Promise-
Bacon boy lawyer.
I promise it's not me.
Good lord.
And it says in comp sci, we often that's computer science.
Computer science. I was really confused.
That's what you
Okay.
say. You went to college. I
In
thought that's
comp
what they
sci?
say. I'm taking comp sci.
I
101.
didn't take a comp sci class in college.
But don't
It's probably
y'all say
glaringly
that?
obvious.
Don't y'all say that though?
No.
Y'all don't shorten the names to shit. Like I'm taking psych
Poli
101.
sci is a thing, like political
whatever.
science. And psych, I guess, would be a thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe.
So in computer science,
Allegedly.
we often got bored and dicked around.
Oh, my.
One day we ran into the
No,
deep
we can't make
listen to
any.
this. Listen to this. One day we ran into the deep web.
Okay. Ran right into it. Smack.
That's what got me about this post. I'm like, you don't just fucking run into the deep web. Like you were on the web doing your thing, and then you just rounded a corner of the web, and it was like, bam,
Do you
dark
think
web.
does he mean dark web? He ran into the dark web?
He meant to say dark web.
Okay,
This is
he
where
meant to-
people
yeah.
get confusing because he says deep web. Because what you're gonna
Because
find,
you can totally run into the deep web.
yeah, I'm gonna accidentally log into my
But you
bank.
can't like run
I
into
can't.
the dark web.
No.
You have to be using a fucking Tor browser, you piece of shit. Like, are you kidding me?
You're in computer science. Like you should know this.
I feel like we're being too critical for this poster.
Bacon Boys like.
Bacon Boy's like, damn,
Fuck
bitch,
you.
you ain't even get into the story.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if this is that little boy that's all grown up from that fucking wife swap. The one that's like, bacon is good for me. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh my God. It's hilarious. This little boy gets so mad because the mom comes in and she's trying to get rid of all the junk food. And he's like kind of going with it, but then she wants to get rid of the bacon. And he's like, hold up. This little like 8-year-old boy. And he goes, bacon is good for me.
Amazing.
And
Why
then-
didn't they give him a sponsorship deal?
And then he tells her, he goes to pack his bags and run away, as we all do, because he just can't stand
he's going
it.
to the bacon farm
Yeah. And he says,
to be free.
you can't fight. He's like, she's not going to come after me. She can't run in those little high heels.
Incredible.
Anyway, let me finish this fucking Reddit post.
You're like, what
Jesus
is this
Christ.
Reddit post?
Anyway, one day we ran into the dark web. The most disturbing site we found was a comprehensive guide for cooking women.
Oh, yeah. I've
We're
read
not-
this one.
We're not talking about a short joke here. This page had information on what body types to use for specific cuts, how to prepare these cuts, and how to cook the girl so she lives as long as possible.
Yeah, I read
fuck?
this one.
Ugh. Anyway, all right.
Not good. Not getting a Food Network sponsorship,
No.
for sure.
I'm glad you ran into the dark web and seemed surprised about it, but then continue to look and see what it was about.
Maybe not.
You There goes Katie.
Sorry.
Just fucking making all the noise she fucking possibly can. Anyway, next post from Redditor Kletch.
Clutch.
Was on tour. All right, honey, I gotta get into a specific voice for this. Was on tour, browsing the usuals.
The usuals, DA.
Yeah.
I love it.
Go out to eat foods at the Five Guys.
Who is this fucking person?
Come back, more tour. Find a picture of me eating at Five Guys.
Oh, fuck. What did he say after?
Nothing.
Oh, great. I'm so glad he
Come-
gave us no reaction.
Browsing the usuals. Go out to eat foods at the Five Guys. Come back, More tour.
Amazing. We need to put like a metal riff behind that. And like, I feel like
Exactly.
that guy had a lot happening.
Next post from Redditor user Never Lurking 77.
Never lurking. I feel like
Never
that's most of what
lurking.
you do on Reddit, though. You lurk.
He's never lurking.
Never lurking.
Anyway, he says,
Always out in the open. Always letting you know I'm there. Never even come up behind you and startle you either.
on the deep web, here we go again. They keep saying the deep
Okay.
web.
Yeah.
On the deep web, once upon a time, I was browsing Tor. I paraded myself over to the hidden wiki and hit the random button a few times. What happened next scared the ever-living shit out of me. There was a web page that took longer to load, even by Tor standards. Okay, shady. And when it finally loaded, and giant black letters on my screen, it said, "You better start running."
Oh my God.
Needless to say, I almost shit my pants.
Oh my God.
2 out of 10 would not browse again.
Would not browse again.
2 out of 10, so there's still a chance.
There's a little chance. That's so dumb though, because that's clearly like some like bullshit word art website that like somebody just made
Right.
to be dumb.
Right. You better start running me. Fuck you.
Bitch. So says my doctor. What the fuck? I'm not listening to him either.
So says my BMI. But
Okay.
does it look like I'm doing it? No. Only thing I'm running is this mouth. Anyway. Next post from Redditor, Simplify Cerberus.
Okay. So we're a Marine who also likes Harry Potter? Thank you for
Greek
your service.
mythology, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway,
Regardless, thank you for your service, baby.
yeah.
We
So
appreciate you.
it was my 3rd time on the deep web. Here we go again.
We can tell.
And I was, I could tell. It was my 3rd time on the deep web, and I was just looking around at sites. I found this one guy's homepage, and on the sidebar, I saw a link that said, "For journalists and people new to the deep web."
Fucking idiot. This is going to go great. Couldn't possibly be anything other than what it appears to be.
For journalists and people new to the deep web, click here.
Great. Let's go for it. Where do I enter my credit card? Fucking
Enter
people.
credit card here in order to see this post. I clicked on it, hoping that it was interesting and helpful information. Like a fucking directory of the dark web. There's
What a
like
fucking
there's
idiot.
like some like host of the dark web, and he's like, "Welcome to the dark web."
Yeah, like what the fuck did you expect?
Where can I take you? Would you like drugs?
Would you like draw?
Would you like to kill some people? Where would you like to go? I can take you.
Dark web genie.
Anyway, a new page opened and a picture started to load. Thank God for my slow internet, because all that loaded was the head of an old Asian man with blood on his chin. I quickly closed the tab before the rest of the image loaded. To this day, I wonder what the whole picture was, but at the same time, am thankful I didn't see it.
He gonna log back on to see it. That's what that sounds like.
You think so?
Smells like a sequel.
Do you think so?
Maybe.
I've got one more that I'm going to read, and it is from Redditor Busty_crustacean.
Oh, I thought that it wouldn't let me post. I thought I didn't have enough points. Did it go through?
I think it went through. Busty crustacean.
Busty crustacean. I want you to imagine like just a crab with like a set of just knockout tits.
I
What
feel like
is
that would
that
be hard to
about?
walk.
Yeah,
though.
because they have to have like flat like bodies
Yeah.
so that they can drag themselves across the sand.
What if crabs had tits on their backs?
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay. From Busty Crustacean. I saw a DIY vasectomy kit on Silk Road. It was a kit of weird dentist tool looking hooks and some tube thing for $20.
No.
That I believe. That I believe fully. I feel like you could have went on Silk Road and searched DIY vasectomy kit and done that.
God.
Why you would have, I don't understand.
Just go to the doctor, baby. Your insurance will probably cover it.
Go to the fucking doctor.
Your insurance will probably cover it.
There are so many other options here.
Use a condom.
Just use a condom. Pull out
free.
even.
No,
I know that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
But still.
I can't have
still,
that.
Okay, but
just use a
pulling
condom.
out or DIY vasectomy kit?
Don't have sex or condom.
There's masturbation.
There's just so much.
Legitimate doctors who will help you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe if you're in a place where, you don't have the greatest health care and, you're like on your 12th child and you're like, fuck, I got to do something. Again, condoms. Blowjobs, pearl necklaces.
There's a lot. There's a lot of options. Let's discuss the options.
Yeah.
I mean, just not that one. Not the do it yourself.
No. That's
not that.
No.
Don't ever do that.
No. Yeah. Very weird stuff. So.
Official stances that we're against it.
So that's that's my Reddit corner.
Interesting. Well, glad to know that.
Let us know if you want a Reddit corner on every episode.
Can we do that? Can we just attack, just casually lurk? Always lurking. Always lurking 91. Always lurking 69.
Oh, is that from Metal Gear? Oh,
no.
What's the Metal Gear code name? What's
remember.
that? No, not the code name. It was something scissors.
Oh, I need scissors 61.
I need scissors 61.
I can almost guarantee you that one's taken. It's from
I'm
Metal
pretty
Gear
sure
Solid.
it has. It's
I'm
Reddit.
sure.
Some 12-year-old boy
I'm sure.
has it.
However, Always Lurking 69 might be available. Yeah. So there's lots of shit going on the internet, guys. It's not just about Facebook and the other 5 websites that you visit every day. There's all kinds of bullshit going on beneath the surface, as with everything in this reality.
You
and
should
others.
be safe. Be safe on the internet.
100% be safe. Cover up your cameras because everything that's electric can be hacked. It's electronic. No, seriously. I've read stories about the electronic microwaves getting hacked.
I have
and
heard about
shorting
that.
out and causing
what
crazy
are you
shit.
Don't fucking
You
hack my
it.
microwave.
Right? Leave my fucking microwave alone. That's how I'm gonna heat my dinner.
Fuck. I mean, damn. I'd rather hack my fucking bank account before you do my damn fucking microwave and fuck my microwave up, bitch. You ain't getting shit out my bank account. What you gonna take, my debt? Please.
Please take it. No, I wish there were hackers for good that would do that. That would just hack and erase debt.
If fucking hacker would log into my account and see
Jesus.
big fucking red negative letters, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, got the
And
wrong
I'm like,
one
"No,
to
you're
do.
here now. Make a fucking deposit, motherfucker." I hacked them.
No,
You can't leave unless you make a donation.
So one good thing that you can do is cover up your webcam. It sounds like paranoid, but you can do that. And then just be safe with the sites that you visit. Make sure that you turn your fucking location services and shit like that off. Like Snapchat logs your location. There's all kinds of things that log locations and stuff. And I was making fun about my phone, knowing where I'm going, but I gotta figure out how the fuck to turn that off, girl, because it's scary.
Or you do that and then get murdered or kidnapped and no one can find you because your phone
probably my fucking
have
luck.
Any
Probably
location services on.
My luck. But yeah, so just be safe online and
Yeah, because it can go both ways,
don't
honestly.
be afraid. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it can go both ways.
Sometimes technology is good.
Do what you want to do with it. Set your own parameters of privacy and safety that you feel comfortable with.
Right.
And just don't click on any fucking thing that says new to the fucking dark web. Click here. Let's not do that.
Just don't do it.
But what you can do is you can head on over to our Patreon.
Yeah, that's a safe site.
That is definitely a safe site. Very secure, very private. Where you can Well, we will also take your money.
But only the money that you give us consensually. So head on over to patreon.com/thehauntedheart, where you can access all kinds of bonus material. And it's also the first place that we leak any news that we have about the podcast or new things that we're doing or whatever. So join us there. You can join for as little as like $1 a month. And every cent that you give us gets funneled back into the show and into bringing you more high quality trash content.
Mm-hmm. The best trash.
You can also find us on all the social medias. We're on Instagram at The Haunted Heart Podcast. We're on Twitter at The Haunted Heart. And we are on Facebook. If you search The Haunted Heart, our page will come up. You can like it. You can also search The Haunted Heart Podcast to pull up our group. And you can request to join our group there. We're almost at like 300 members. That's awesome.
Yeah. So the group is kind of like our dark web.
True. Yes.
Nobody can see what you post there.
Yes. Nobody can see what you post
Except
there,
for everyone
except for other
else.
group members. So, your aunt won't be able to see the shit that you're posting unless she already fucking joined because she's a cool ass motherfucker. In which case, you don't have anything to worry about.
If she's a cool ass bitch, then she's on there.
It's fine.
So
It's fine.
she's not, then she's not. So
Make a fake profile. Like... But no, we love hanging out with all you guys, so check us out there. If you have any stories about the dark web or about any of the topics that we cover that you want us to read, know about, potentially read on the show, shoot us an email at thehauntedheartpodcast@gmail.com. It's not just a gag, it is like a real email address that you can use if you want. And if we get your email and think it's interesting, we'll read it on the show.
and think it's if we get your email,
If it's
we'll
boring
read it
as
on
fuck,
the show.
I'm not gonna read it. No, okay.
If we get an
Entertain
email,
me.
we'll read it on the show.
No. So yeah, and until next time, stay safe browsing.
Yeah.
Be wary of
Don't
your
forget
search
to
indexing.
Put your private up your private screen up when you look
At
at
your
porn,
porn.
on your
100%.
phone. And after you do that, you can listen to us, and then you can always just
Stay spooky.